edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Saints still not exactly players in free agency. They went and signed Marcus May at the onset of free agency, and since then, really haven't done anything. So Teron Armstead today is visiting the Miami Dolphins. I do expect that he will sign a contract with the Miami Dolphins. The Saints historically and maybe notoriously have their number that they're willing to pay a player, and then they just don't go over that. So, if they were giving Armstead the number he wanted, then he would have signed already. So, they haven't, someone else will. So I think Teron Armstead's time in New Orleans will be done. Darren James. And how about baseball Tigers? Baseball Tigers avoid a sweep. My goodness, did they need that in just the absolute worst kind of way? They were down 6-2, and I'll tell you there were two spots where LSU, where A&M had the bases loaded against LSU, and in both spots they came up with big outs. One was in the third, and I don't want to overstate it, but I do think that we may look back, depending on whatever the season becomes, and I think we can look at this sequence in particular and say, okay, that was massive. Remember, LSU's already lost 2 games in the series. A&M puts up a 2 spot in the first, so it's 2-0. Things are not good, right? Everyone's morale is down. Here we go again, all this stuff. Hillary gives up, 2 runs in the first. The third inning rolls around, and they have bases loaded with 1 out. In that situation, the floodgates could open, right? You walk a guy, you plunk a guy, you give up it, whatever. But Hilliard gets a strikeout, and then the pop-up behind home plate. Just a massive, massive sequence right there to get out of it. Because, and look, A&M would come back in homer to make it 3-0 in the fourth, but then LSU put together a rally. They scored 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth to tie it after A&M put a 3 spot in the fifth with their back-to-back homers. Anyway, but basically it gave LSU a chance, because it could have gotten away early. And then Raiselman faced the same situation. Bases loaded and got out of it. So A&M's going to look back at that one with their A&M left 14 on base yesterday. 14. LSU made some big pitches when they needed. Of course, Riley Cooper got the win, came in relief, pitched an inning in 2/3. Dude pitched all 3 games. And he, quite honestly, all this year has not been good. But on Saturday, he got the ground ball. He walked the guy, but then got the ground ball double play to get out of the inning in the 8th. And then yesterday came in and made some really big pitches to get out of the 8th and then to slam the door of the 9th. So after the game, if you heard Jay Johnson's comments, I agree completely with what he said. As a matter of fact, if you want to listen to him, I think we can do it here. Hang on. This is going to be courtesy of Matt Trent at WBRZ television, but let's give a listen. This is what Jay Johnson said after the game about his pitching.
Coach, with the weekend rotation, did anything Oh yeah, we got.
Any nerves? I mean,
No, I don't. No. We're going back to the drawing board, and so you can announce it. Everybody wants to announce the rotation. It's TBA for Florida next week, and it's TBA for Tuesday. I have some thoughts, some ideas. I'm going to go back and watch the entire series from a pitching standpoint. I think we learned some things that I think will help us, now and in the future. But it's not going to be a conventional way of doing things. It can't be. We're not set up right now. I have confidence in the guys to do the job that we're presenting them to do. I think it's completely unfair to ask many of them to go 7 innings. It's not going to happen.
Is that what you're talking about, a conventional way of doing things?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we will get, as a program, we will get to the point where you know who the Friday pitcher is. You will know who the Saturday pitcher is. You'll know who the Sunday pitcher is. And we're going to get to the point where you know who the Tuesday pitcher is, and you're going to know who to expect rolling out of the bullpen. We're just not there right now. And so we could complain about it, or we could do it this way. And Coach Kelly and I worked tirelessly this weekend. We made one mistake in the game on Friday that I'd like to have back, and I should have left Riley in on Friday night to keep Kaler hitting right-handed. But other than that, I thought we did an excellent job managing the pitching this weekend.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all caught all that, but again, that was Matt Trent from WBRZ television video, courtesy of him. But everything Jay said there, I completely agree with, which is this team does not have presently 3 guys that they feel they can hand the ball to and can give them 6 or 7 innings. They just don't have those guys. So they can't do it in a conventional way of a Friday, Saturday, Sunday starter. So you're probably going to see Blake Money on Friday as the tone setter, and then you just do whatever you have to do to get through that game, and then you make a decision about Saturday, then you make a decision about Sunday. I mean, somebody has to take the ball first, but it's not going to be a situation where you see guys extend deep into ball games. They just don't have that on this team. And you heard him say it, like, we'll get there as a program to where you will know who the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday guys are every week, but they're just not there yet. So that's what it's going to be. But they desperately needed that game. LSU has not, by the way, has not been swept the opening weekend of conference play. When it was 6-2, I had to go look this up. But LSU has not been swept to start conference play since 2011. They got swept at home by Florida to open conference play, and that was, of course, the last year they missed postseason altogether. So, all right, let's say some good mornings here. Pat Huseman, good morning. Michael Merritt, Nobody Greater podcast with the Raiders capitalized there. Good morning, Matt. Love your show all the way from Hawaii. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Appreciate you very much. Shane Henry Spurge, good morning. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Hashtag Team Drew. Eric Wilder, morning, Scone. These 4-hour games are going to get old real quick. I'd imagine we'll be better used to. Hey, you got to give Jay Johnson credit. He said, I'm going to go pull this clip. I think it might have been during his season preview press conference. He said, we're going to play some long ball games because of this reason. They're going to use 8 pitchers, and they're going to be offensive oriented, and you're going to see a lot of pitching changes and a lot of that stuff, man. And I think, you're going to see a lot of long ball games this year. Yes. Ryan, Amanda Guidry, David Coslin, Quentin Breakbill. Good morning. Good morning, Ron Ritchie, Patrick Berglass, Rude Yule. Boys showed grit yesterday. 2 game giving up that many hits is impressive. Yes, completely. A&M had 17 hits in that ballgame. 17 hits. And scored 6 runs. They left 14 on base. I mean, LSU made some gigantic pitches in moments when they had to have them, namely Hilliard, Razelman, and Cooper. And I believe Dutton's the only other one that pitched. And Dutton gave up 4 hits in his inning in 2/3. But he had some tough luck. Defense let him down a little bit. Troy Hebert, the defensive miscues are atrocious. Yes, they are. Taz, good morning. Do you know anything about Marcus May possibly being suspended for past DUI? Only that he can be, and he got the DUI and was and hit it from the Jets actually. So yes, he can be suspended. But similar with Lattimore last year, remember the charges were dropped, and I went and looked up the rule, and if it's a non-violent offense and the player has a clean past, doesn't have a history of previous incidents, that they can just fine him. But I don't know what they'll do with Marcus May. I mean, it kind of feels like it'll go the same way as Deontay Harris, and he'll end up getting a couple games. Troy Hebert, what happened to Dugas? Heard he was sick, came in late in game 2. Yeah, so they said he had food poisoning, couldn't hold anything down, lost like 10 pounds, so he wasn't even at the field Friday. Saturday, he DH'd, and then he DH'd yesterday as well. No Saint. Matt, last week there was a guy who straight up said Watson is signing with Cleveland, nothing more. Was that a lucky guess of some insider? Well, yeah, because listen, man, so Watson was signing with Cleveland, and then Cleveland was eliminated from the conversation. And nobody expected that Jimmy Haslam was going to come back and give Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. So, yeah, lucky guess. Cold Mac, why are the games so long? Is it because of the turnaround of the mound during the games? Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, the number of pitchers being used, absolutely. And because you don't have clean innings. Because your pitchers aren't getting 1, 2, 3 innings. Every inning you're seeing base runners and extended innings, that's why. I mean, if you had dominant pitchers that were having clean innings on both sides, games move faster. But when every inning runners are getting on base and you're changing pitchers, yes, it extends games, absolutely. Tim Gotro, Brandon, good morning. You Rock and Drew were great. Thanks for asking. Hunter Fournette, what's up? Keelan Pajak, is A&M actually good? They were yesterday. I'll tell you this. I was texting with Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball, and he was like, that's the best A&M's played all year. So it's probably a situation where under a new coach, they're improving. I mean, y'all, the lefty on Saturday, number 6, who came in, forgot his name, don't matter, who handcuffed LSU for like 4 innings. That dude had an ERA of 13. Yo, 13. Not 5. 13. I mean, they played their best. No, that team had the worst batting average in the SEC coming into this weekend. Boy, they sure look like they had a really good team approach to hitting. And 17 hits yesterday. I mean, Chance Babin, if SEC basketball wasn't overrated, what are we calling one of 6 teams surviving the first weekend? Bad luck? No chance. It's just the NCAA tournament. I mean, I went through this yesterday. The SEC is not a bad league. It had good teams. But when you're talking about a one-off, a one-and-done scenario, I say it all the time. The NCAA tournament is magnificent theater. That's why it's a $1 billion property. But it's not the best way to crown a champion. Like, upsets happen in basketball. Happen all the time. Is St. Peter's better than Kentucky? Those teams play 7 times. How many times does St. Peter's win? Come on. But you play a one-off in a win-or-go-home scenario. One team takes another team lightly. I mean, yeah, shit happens. Brought a nightcap in the morning, Scone. My apologies. But I'm not gonna disregard 30 games because of what happened in one weekend. That's foolish. Brian Wynn, good morning. Dylan Landry, good morning. Courtney Storer, I really like Coach J. Innovative thinking. Thank goodness the boys came through with hits in number 3. They definitely needed it. Jeff McKithen, Josh Bergeron, David Wallace, Stephen Fry, Barry Day, Joby Thomasy, good morning. Kenneth Westbrook, Henry Gordon Bennett. None of this about LSU baseball is breaking news. We knew from the end of last season pitching was going to be a problem. Hopefully fielding comes around and hitters stay consistent. Go Tigers. I'll tell you this, Henry. The thing that's the biggest surprise for me is the defense. And think about it this way too: had Blake Money not emerged the way that he has, and we're hoping. And look, he only made it. He didn't make it through 4 the other night. So hopefully, he can be a Friday night guy that we thought he could be. But man, I need to, and I will this week, do some digging on the errors to see what's the lowest LSU has ever fielded. I mean, y'all, not only is LSU dead last in the conference in fielding, but like, to put this into perspective, y'all, LSU is last in fielding at 951. Next worst is Ole Miss at 963. And Missouri at 965. You're 12 points lower than the next worst team. I mean, you've got 35 errors. Ole Miss has 22. You have 13 more errors than the next closest team. It's stunning. Like, I just have never seen it. I mean, the ball Barry dropped in right field yesterday, I mean, ranging to his left, and just dropped it. The ball Dugas dropped in left field on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, allowed 2 runs to score, just dropped it. I mean, we're all raving over the play that Trey Morgan made in the 9th, which was brilliant. I mean, it was, absolutely incredible. Like, to slide, pop up, falling back, underhand, just whip the ball right to second base. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. But what's lost is the play by Merrifield on third was equally as atrocious. It's a chopper to your third baseman, and he throws it down the right field line. Bro, this isn't 9 a.m. tournament ball on Saturday attraction. This is the SEC. Your third baseman, who, by the way, was the JUCO Defensive Player of the Year last year at LSU, can't make a throw on a chopper to third to first base in the 9th inning? Like, I mean, we can marvel over Morgan's play, but should have never been a play to make. Your third baseman can't make a throw 3/4 of the way across the diamond? Wow. That's the thing that's stunning. Really stunning. I'm not saying they got to field 989, but 951? If you don't know, the sort of benchmark to be like a good fielding team is 980, not .980. 980 is the best, but you want to be fielding 980. So in the SEC, let's see, Arkansas is at 987. It's incredible. State's at 984. Florida's 982. Tennessee's 982. Bama's 981. A&M is 980. Auburn and South Carolina are 979, so they're right there. Georgia's 976. See my point? Like, everybody, the chunk of the league is all right there. I mean, that's what you'd expect at this level. And then you've got Vandy at 972, which is surprising. Kentucky at 971. Missouri at 965. Ole Miss at 963. LSU at 951. Y'all, it's stunning. It's just stunning. Because it's not just bad. It's horrendous. Like, it might be the worst fielding team they've ever had. It might be. I need to go look it up. Like, 951? Anyway. All right, shout out to Brock. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. brortho.com. Of course, you need an orthopedist. They're the best. If it's good enough for the Saints and the Tigers, certainly good enough for me. Had my meniscus surgery over there with Dr. Bankston, Chip Bankston. Of course, we were there last week with Drew with his broken arm. We saw Dr. Brad Collada there with the pediatrics over at Brock. Check them out, brortho.com, brortho.com. Of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Hudco link is pinned in the comments. Y'all don't know if you saw, but like, there's awful weather coming into our area tomorrow. I hate to say it this way, but it's like, we always tell you, get your inspection, get your inspection, get your inspection. But every time it rains, our phones ring off the hook because people get water in their house. Like, without fail, Tuesday night, then Wednesday will be bonkers for us. Wednesday, our phone will ring all day long because it's going to rain Tuesday. And that's when it rains and people go, oh, man. I tell you all the time, there's only 2 ways to know if you have roof damage. Let us come to a roof inspection, or wait till it rains to get water in your house. One's better than the other. Up to you. Free, no obligation roofing inspection. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Ryan Pike, this baseball team is so close to being good. I feel like there's still a few things to figure out. I mean, they are atrocious defensively. They don't have any starting pitching, and their hitting was certainly inconsistent this weekend. They have 4 guys that I believe are big leaguers in Morgan, Cruz, Berry, and Doty. Those 4 will play in the major leagues. But it just goes to show you, if you can't pitch it and field it, it don't matter. Jesse Brown, I saw an article, LSU's targeting Murray State coach for basketball. Well, Jesse Brown, I've been telling you that since the day Will Wade got fired. But we'll see what direction Scott Woodward goes. There's some that believe he's going to aim much higher. Tony Bennett, Scott Drew, we'll see. But yeah, Matt McMahon is the Murray State coach, and that's one of the first names I heard. Trey Guy, Jay Reach, was Schlossnagle ever a thought for the job? Nope. And he wanted it too. He wanted it. And by the way, after LSU's flirtation with O'Sullivan went kaput, and then remember they were talking to Pat Casey, all that stuff, they did reach out to Schlossnagle, but at that point he had already taken the A&M job. He had already verbally committed to A&M that he was taking their job. So he's like, look, I'm just going to take this job. But he wanted it, yes. Schlossnagle wanted the LSU job. Oh, everybody wanted the LSU job, let's be real. But no, he was an afterthought. Keith H. Matt, sorry if you already commented. What did you think of Edward Ashworth's opinion piece in The Advocate? Who's the guy? I didn't read it. Taz, would you draft 2 wide receivers? And I mean, there's probably an op-ed. Probably just like a letter to the editor. Taz, would you draft 2 wide receivers instead of signing one in free agency? Would you sign one and still use your pick on a wide receiver? I would not do both, Taz. And it depends who. It depends what free agent wide receiver we're signing. My inclination is to draft one at 18. Jordan Thomas, Matt, how far away is the LSU spring game? April 24th. So spring football practice begins, say, March 24th, and the spring game is April 24th. Hunter Fournette, an observation, most of college basketball's offenses are horrible to watch. Yes, especially if you watch the NBA. If you watch, oh shoot, it's 7:54. Oh my God, I gotta go, y'all. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I gotta go. Y'all have an awesome day. Very sorry I gotta run quickly. I lost track of time. I gotta go get him up and get him to school. So y'all have an awesome day. I am not on AFR today. I'm in the Dreams Come True golf tournament. So Larry Holder and Maddie Hudak are gonna fill in from studio. So y'all be nice to them, please. Excuse me, and I'm back on AFR tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow for Morning Scone. Y'all have a great day. Peace.